Yes, it is finally happening. Congress is passing a new stimulus bill very soon. Joe Manchin is now meeting with Republican lawmakers to gain their support on President Biden's spending bill. Now, many people will be receiving an $800 stimulus check very soon, so you want to continue watching this video to never miss out on the very important stimulus check information, and we have a ton of good news to cover. So the majority of people in Colorado are eligible to receive $400 to $800 stimulus checks from the state government due to the Taxpayer Bill of Rights passed in 1992. Most full-time residents have already taken in the necessary steps to get their check mailed to them this summer, filing their 2021 state income tax return. Any full-time resident who hasn't been filed can still claim and ensure they get a check by filing out a submitting form by May 31st. However, a lot of residents, including many veterans and seniors, do not regularly file state income tax returns, and they have questions regarding their eligibility. Folks, the answer is yes. You are still eligible to receive the $400 check for single filers and $800 for joint filers if you are a full-time resident. According to Colorado Governor Jared Polis, there are additional benefits to filing state and federal income tax returns, even if the taxpayer owes little to nothing. He said filing a return ensures that any excess withholding tax is refunded, and they may also be eligible for valuable refundable state and federal credits, like the Earned Income Credit and the Child Tax Credit. This is the same requirement for people in Colorado who claim and receive payments for the 6-tier flat sales tax refund mechanism that would normally refund the money at filing time next year. All eyes are on Joe Manchin as he moves forward with negotiations on President Biden's Build Back Better bill. Reporters have asked Senator Manchin and GOP senators about the claim in a new book that Manchin said he will be willing to switch to the Republican Party if Senate Republican John Thune were the Senate GOP leader instead of Mitch McConnell. Manchin told reporters today that Republican colleagues frequently ask him about switching parties and that he never seriously considered leaving the party. The banter between Manchin and his Republican colleagues is reinforcing doubts that he will not sign on any point this year to a partisan reconciliation package to enact major elements of Biden's domestic agenda, with 50 Democrat votes and no GOP votes. Democrats also have taken note that Manchin's opposition to various Democratic initiatives appears to be playing well back home. According to a report, Manchin's job approval rating in West Virginia has jumped by 17 points compared to a year ago. 57% of West Virginians now approve of Manchin's job performance compared to only 40% after the first 3 months of 2021. According to Democrats' concerns, Manchin has convened a bipartisan group of senators in an attempt to pass a package of energy proposals that would also address climate change with 60 votes under regular order. It's a development for Democratic senators who hoped a climate and renewable energy package will be a core piece of the budget reconciliation package. Now, the climate and energy piece of the reconciliation package is competing with what Manchin is trying to negotiate with a group of Republicans. Senate Democrat Mark Kelly, who attended the first meeting hosted by Manchin on energy and climate proposals, told reporters that there is a lot of overlap with what's been discussed for inclusion in the reconciliation package.
Administrator Guzman, I will begin by recognizing myself for 5 minutes. Ms. Guzman, access to capital, as you know, is critical to small businesses, and the SBA loan programs have had a banner year. How will you continue this success and also expand to employee-owned businesses and cooperatives as mandated by statute?
Our capital access team is positioning, and our whole agency is positioning to make sure that we can serve not only those new 5.4 million entrepreneurs, but all of our firms across the country. And we know that access to capital remains a really important issue for so many of them to overcome. In particular, around the Main Street Act, we're really committed to making sure that all businesses have pathways to accessing capital, including those that are employee-owned and those ESOPs. And so we have worked with the advocates in the industry to see if we can see what we can do to assess and adapt our programs to fit their needs. And we have made some important changes, and we'll continue to assess those programs as we move forward and as we see more loan volume coming through, so that we can work with ESOPs and worker cooperatives. We know that as small businesses exit, employee ownership is a good pathway in many cases to transition and exit their firm successfully, and we'd like to make sure that capital is available.
So how is SBA using new technology, streamline loan processes, and focus outreach to promote the programs, particularly to the underserved?
across all of our loan programs, we of course rely on our 68 district offices, our over 1,300 resource partners, and now our newly established community navigators to really reach out to more small businesses to get them capital ready. In addition, we have a strong network of lenders and have looked to expand that with the Community Advantage pilot program that we recently overhauled, as well as opening it up so that we can allow new licensees to come into the program, and especially those mission lenders.
Thank you. Fraud controls previously removed in 2020 to expedite relief were reinstituted under your leadership. At our hearing in January, the IG commended SBA for its action implementing his recommendations.
We have a good home over their heads. Let's give her a round of applause. Bernard Silik, our board president of River Bay Port Corporation. Bernard. And all of our partners in the Adams administration and NYC Housing Development Corporation for their partnership, because this is what it's all about. You know that word partnership, you hear it a lot, right? What does it really mean? You know how rare it's been when you get the federal, the state, and the local stakeholders all working together? Just imagine the possibilities if this was the norm. My friends, this will be the norm with the team behind me and the elected officials you have, because we're going to change people's perceptions of their government now. Let them know that we do care and we do deliver. That's what this is all about. So here we have this historic partnership. This number is so big I can barely say it. $621.5 million, a refinancing agreement that'll do two things. It provides affordable home ownership across, I'm going to get this to 15,372 Mitchell-Lama units for the next, you want to hear this? Next 35 years. And it also, and you've been waiting for this, provides a transformative injection of money for repairs, improvements, and upgrades, and that'll be $124 million over the next 10 years. So let's get that done. Let's make sure that happens. And this is going to happen because of city and the state's credit backing as well, and you'll hear about the federal role from the senator in a couple minutes. But this allows us to modernize Co-op City without raising maintenance costs. How does that sound? How does that sound? We have to protect long-term affordability in places like the Bronx for not just the 45,000 people who call Co-op City home, but everywhere, because that is a basic human right. Is it not a basic human right to be able to afford a place to live in dignity with your friends, your community? And this is why we're so proud of what has occurred here with HUD, our senator, as well as our Congress member as well. So, Co-op City is your home. You love it. This is a place, you love this place.